The goal of our Save Our Education campaign is to drive focus on getting children to come back to school. When the pandemic happened, a lot of children were out of school for 8 months plus. And we know anecdotally that not all of them have come back. And so we are driving this campaign to get parents, teachers, the community at large, to focus on getting these children to come back, because the longer they stay away, they have the risk that they never will get back to school. So even in the best of circumstances, it's a little bit more challenging for marginalized children to access education. And when I'm speaking of marginalized children in the Kenyan context, I'm talking about refugee children, children that are living with disabilities, and those that are living in extreme poverty. So already, a lot of children were out of school. So to get these special groups back in is even more challenging. So what is Save the Children doing? It's highlighting the issue, just how important education is to our children, and the fact that if they lose out on this, then it has, very negative outcomes further down the road. Immediately COVID happened, we also distributed hand washing stations, hygiene kits to some of the schools that we work in. We ensured that learning continued via radio. We are doing that together, like I've said, together with the Ministry of Education, but together with also other partners, to ensure that children their learning is not left behind when catastrophe hits. For policymakers, considerations for the future, so we need to think broader about what kinds of mechanisms or learning we put in place for these children should there be a disruption to physical access to school. I know one of the ones that has been explored is radio learning, but what more could we do? What more could we do for the future? I think the one thing that's still outstanding is understanding the true depth of the problem. How many of the children have not come back to school? Because I think for all the children that are missing, each of them has not come back for a different reason. And until we understand each and every single reason, we are not able to tailor, our programming to those specific types of children. So there still needs to be work to be done around that. My rallying call for the parents and the caregivers in general is to return or to ensure that kids come back to school. Education remains one of the ways to break generational poverty. The more a child is in school, with that extra year they are in school, the more they're assured of a better life outcome. Right? Send them back to school. It's good for them. It's good for their future.